Good evening, people. Welcome to my channel. Tonight's topic, we're going to talk about sex tourism in the Caribbean. It's a touchy topic, but it needs to be talked about. We have in the building Magic Mongata. How you doing? I'm just here, just trying to have a good old discussion about tourism in the Caribbean. You know, try to get some feedback. Know a little bit more about it because it is happening. So just trying to see who's gonna come in. I mean, anybody's welcome to come up in the panel, so that's what I do. Well, I do not know anything more about that information. I've heard bits and pieces, but I cannot really comment on something I do not really know about. So I guess I'll have to get in touch with certain Dominicans that do live in Puerto Plata to get the full story. So I cannot really have an opinion about that yet. All right, cultural politics. I want to know, do you know this other commenter on my page by the name of Taino? Are you the same person or are y'all related to each other? I just want to know. Okay, because when I talk to you and I talk to Taino, y'all actually sound the same. I mean, with your views or whatsoever the case may be. So I actually thought you were one and the same person or two persons with the same ideals. Amen to that. Okay, so excuse my ignorance, but what is the Black Legend and the Rose Legend? I'm not actually familiar with that. I know the Black Legend or the Rose Legend. I mean, that is, because I never actually heard of those terms. Okay. And what is the Rose Legend? Because not all interactions between Amerindians and the Spaniards were the same. So I know that history varies. I'm not going to say that I am the all knowing historian because I learned everything about everything, but it's like I just want to learn like more. So therefore when I do talk, I actually talk knowledge. Okay. So other than I guess the history and everything like that, my topic for tonight is about the three-letter word tourism. And does it help economies? Does it downgrade economies? Does it degrade women? Does it degrade children? Does it degrade men? Does it degrade society? That's what I want to know about that part of tourism in the Caribbean. Not only in the Dominican Republic or Puerto Rico or Jamaica or other West Indian islands or Caribbean islands, I might just say. I just want to know the crux of that part of tourism. Okay, cultural politics. I want to ask you a broad question. If you're talking, about the history of Spain and whatsoever, can you actually trace when your ancestors actually came to the Caribbean? I'm just asking because I'm trying to do that as well when I go to the Dominican Republic and track down who were my ancestors through records. I agree, Magic Mulata. I mean, I've the reason why I brought this topic because I was on another panel and they were talking about, amongst other things, that between the FDA and the Hispanics, they were actually talking about tourism within the Caribbean. So I was like, you know what, this is a good topic to talk about. Yeah, it's like with me, I'll have to go to the Dominican Record Hall because I do know that I'm a descendant of four brothers that came to the Dominican Republic. So I'll have to actually go through the history of that. That's what my father told me. So, and I do know by talking to certain people from my father's family, I know that my family, the Robles, has been in the Hispaniola since like the early 1500s. I cannot really say, okay, that should be a fact, but I would like to go to the Dominican history records to actually confirm it before I actually talk something that I do not know. Yo, radical was good. Yeah, cause yeah, my topic for tonight is about sex tourism in the Caribbean. And I just want to try to get a feel on how everybody's viewpoint is and what is the cause of it, like the socio economic factors of it, and and how society views it. Hey, radical, here's the link. All right, but theoretically, I mean, I cannot really say that I love masonry because I don't know anything about it. I just know that people have talked about it, that it's like a occult organization. But I was actually offered to join one when I was like in my 20s. And it's a good thing after I did a little bit of my research that I did not join. So I just know that it's something that I would never do because I don't know anything about it. So I just know where I'm at right now, Philadelphia. I guess they have like one of the biggest or first Masonic lodges in America. I don't know if it is, but it's like a big Masonic lodge up in Central City, Philadelphia. And I don't really think nothing of it because I'm not a Mason, and I think I'll never will be. I mean, it is true, but if you actually get factual, isn't certain countries in the European Union Masonic as well? I'm just asking. So, cultural politics 2.0. I got a question to ask you. So, what are your thoughts on Hispanic men marrying other ethnicities? Because you have certain people who are for it, certain people that want to keep tradition, and certain people who are vehemently against it. So, what is your personal view about it? Okay. And how about a Hispanic woman? Thank you. That is my philosophy that love is love. But then you have a certain aspect of people who actually are conservative or whatever the case may be, they want to promote racism and call other people and deem other people as traitors just because of what they're mixed with or their ethnic background. I mean, you're correct about that because certain people do want to tarnish certain histories. I mean, I can understand that we learn new stuff every day and we could apply it to the history that we know. But then I guess because I'm not going to say I'm a historic scholar, but I do like reading about history. So my thing is that you have certain people who are gaslighting history to actually put their views in place. And and then on top of it, what a lot of people don't understand about Spanish rule is that even though we're talking about as we Antillians, and then you have people in Mexico, Central America, and South America, a lot of us haven't heard the historical background between the Philippines because for a time they were under the Spanish crown too. And for that statement, culture politics, thank you, but I'm already married. Yeah, I mean, I would like to get their point of view too, because I mean, even though we're talking about, I guess, the Caribbean and all over what is considered Latin America, I would like to get the Philippine opinion about it as well.
What's up, Armando? ¿Cómo estás?
Joe Bien. So,
Yeah, the internet doing better right now. Thank God. So oh yeah. I didn't. I just dropped in. So what y'all talking about right now?
well, tonight's topic is about sex tourism and like the
Oh no,
socioeconomic effects of it and everything like that. Because I was on I was
sex.
on on how should I say, and we were talking about FDA, Hispanics, etc. Right. So my thing is
FDA.
that yeah. So my thing is that during that conversation they were talking about sex tourism in the Caribbean. So I think I would like to actually talk about it tonight because
Oh,
it is a current issue, and you have certain people calling each other degenerates and all this other stuff. So I would like to actually see and talk about the socio-economic factors that will lead somebody to sex tourism or to promote sex tourism.
CIA.
I
You know about
mean,
that? And also, certain sex trafficking rings are linked to satanic covens, like in
I
Hollywood,
mean,
and also in the world, like in Forehead, Vanessa Gillian.
right,
Happened to her, yeah. But the Mexican American lady, young lady that got killed in Fort Hood because she said no to the dark skinned brother, but another officer was harassing her too. That's not the only
right.
case in Fort Hood. So the sex trafficking rings are in Latin America too. And this no one should not be sex trafficking anyone. Okay, my thing is, and I want to bring another YouTuber in, but certain YouTube you and I know bring up the brothers. They not sex trafficking, sex tourism, but who started it? Because I didn't remember seeing too many brothers, unless they was like in Hollywood and they kept that secret. You know what I'm saying, back in the '90s. But it was usually white men, and I don't see them talking anything about white men going to Latin America and just to have sex and probably sex trafficking as well. It's always focused on the brothers. And I always make the argument the reason why you see that when the whole hip hop thing, you worked in the industry. So the whole hip hop, um, and I ain't trying to be classism, okay, because I grew up middle class. But some of the ghetto part of the ADOS community, there's not all people in ghetto whose ADOS is bad, but you know what I'm saying. That mind frame when some of the Latino friends start introducing them to Latin America, okay, because you know what I'm saying when the whole Jennifer Lopez thing back in 1999 and all that, and they start going traveling to Dominican Republic, Mexico, Costa Rica. That's my alarm. Hold on. Sorry. Let me. God, sorry. Oh, sorry. It's in my bedroom. I have the alarm in my bedroom too. So anyway, point is, they go into sex trafficking in other countries. Okay, and you had their Latino friends doing that, like bringing them into another country, and they already was I'm sorry, this is used inappropriate, were horny in New York, LA, United States, I mean, United States, Houston, Chicago, wherever they was not properly trained how to handle a woman, and they started bringing them into Latin America or the Caribbean, because they didn't just go to Latin America. I mean, they're Spanish speaking. They went to Jamaica too. Okay, and so that crowd that's from the bad part of the ADOS community, especially, and I'm trying, there's bad people in the middle class too, but the ghetto ones, that's who they seeing. Because most people that travel back in the day, you know what I'm saying, they usually had a higher education, wealth. If they didn't have education, they knew how to conduct themselves in a different country. But the ghetto, and I'm sorry, I ain't please y'all, anyone from the ghetto, I'm not trying to be disrespectful because you got people who are innocent of this. But those who are like mentally messed up, ratchet, the ratchet crowd, they start bringing them in those countries, and next thing it's a story on YouTube. It's a story all over the, on social media. You know what I'm saying? Instead of bringing appropriate, like folks who are intelligent, kids who are from the ghetto, young people, old elderly people who got intelligence and happen to be in the ghetto, they bought that ratchet crowd. And next thing here in the United States, we love, not us, me personally, anti-black stereotypes. That's been the mockery since slavery in advertisement. Well, soon they hear somebody acting descended, acting a fool, all of a sudden it's spread all over. And it's not just Latinos talking about this. I have met Africans when I on my 42nd birthday. The 41st birthday. Okay. At that start, but for me that Latino woman had issues or got got crazy when I was homeless. And the people at Starbucks gave me some gifts and stuff for my birthday. You know what I'm saying? And it was an African man that was there from Guyana. He got he was Nigerian. No, 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 Guyana. And he's from Guyana. He said, "Yeah, black people can come to the country, but don't act. Meaning, don't act ratchet in his country because he talking about them ratchet ones. I know he not talking about someone like myself or someone that's." What I'm saying, they know how to conduct themselves. He talking about them ratchet ones that gonna come into Guyana acting a fool. You know what I'm saying? Guyana, I
Oh,
said Ghana.
you said Guyana or Ghana?
Huh?
Guyana or
Hello?
Ghana?
Ghana, I mean Ghana. I'm sorry, Ghana, not Guyana. Guyana's South Africa. I mean South America. Ghana. He said, don't. He said, he thought that because it was, they have free citizenship for African American people to go to Ghana. He's saying that they can come, but not to act. He talk. I said, no. I said, I'm not fan. You talking about the ratchet get. I know he talking about. He not talking about those was sis. He talking about the ones you see on World Star Hip Hop. That's exactly what he talking about. Because and they will deport them. No, they're not gonna come to Africa. And I'm gonna go to Ecuador again where they speak Spanish. Well, what's her name? The lady, Akinfon trial live. Don't let them go there. They gonna kick them out right there. We have an ice out there too down in Africa. So I'm just saying that they talking about them ratchet ones. So that's what they make it to money and business. Oh,
Yeah.
just they talking about the ratchet one. They ain't talking about no uppity or those who trying to do better themselves in the hood. Those who high class. They talking about them ratchet ones who act a fool and act a sing and not.
I mean, not for nothing. On Magic Mulata, you'll be surprised because I was just on a cruise ship and everything like that, and I don't know what is up, but you have certain people that knew how to conduct themselves, and you have certain people who are ratchet on the cruise ship. To be there as is me, I don't know what it is. I guess maybe, well, to my wife, I'm handsome, but I had like two stalkers on my cruise, and it was funny. I think they were like in their early or mid 20s because there was one tall one and there was one short one. So whenever I was walking or talking to my wife, or me enjoying myself with my wife dancing or whatever, I always saw these two young females follow me wherever I went. So maybe they might have been CIA recruits, FBI, women that thought that I looked like Idris Elba or some other celebrity. I don't know because certain people said that I looked like a certain Philadelphia Eagles player, but I still don't see it. I was told that all through the cruise. I was like, okay, well, I guess they do. All right. I guess Zacharias will come back. Oh, so you're back. All right. So, what is your take on modern day sex terrorism? Sex tourism.
Hello.
Yeah, I'm here. So, what's new in the state of Texas?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I haven't really heard much. I just came back from a cruise, so
You ever heard anything going on in Texas?
nah. The only thing I've
Um,
been hearing, the only thing I've been hearing is about crime in Philadelphia. I'm like, I'm so tired of it. I mean, I hope it don't affect me, but I just stay out the way on that.
we waiting for elections, and this time I'm voting Democrat in this time because we got to get Greg Abbott out. Greg Abbott is evil. And people realize that man in an interracial marriage, he married to a Mexican woman. Yep, and he compared her to a dog keeper. You saw that on social media?
No, I
One, yeah,
didn't.
yeah.
I can't really say that I have because if it's like mostly negative stuff, I tend not to actually watch it because it fries the brains.
hmm I don't
So
watch TV. I watch like my TV is the internet, like YouTube, social media. I get my information from, and social media. I don't get my information from TV. I don't have a TV. I don't even have a TV. I have a
I mean,
laptop
hey,
and a phone.
well, hey,
But
that's all you got to do.
I haven't had TV in years. But yeah, he's disabled, so he married to a Mexican American Latino woman. And one
Right,
of the posts I saw is that he compared her, like he has a dog, and he said that's the best dog keeper, his own wife, and that's her fault. She divested. Not, and I'm not saying she shouldn't marry a white man, but she's Latin version of divesting because that man does, like, in my opinion, degrades his own wife. I know that he disabled,
right.
but you don't compare your wife to your dog keeper because she take care of his dog and how he treat Latinos. Like I bet though it's gonna win. And ever since that Uvalde case, that's horrific. He didn't care about that. But see, it's Latinos that have a whitewash mindset here in Texas. They waking up. When they hold your body up, I do believe there was an inward wake up. Okay, no offense to the families and the kids that got killed by Salvador Ramos. But you saw those Latino cops did not do nothing about that. And they forget that they boss, the mayor in that town, is white. So they were doing what their white masters was telling them. Like they was on the shopping plantation, like the cop picture with acting people. You know what I'm saying? They were doing what they were told by their white master. So they getting threats, those who went against the police officers. And only time I'm pro police when they ethical. When they break the law against citizens, I'm not pro police. Okay. I'm pro
I mean,
police when
me
they
neither, because at the end of the day, I can't. I mean, I got a
Mhm,
relative in law enforcement, which I'm not gonna mention his name, but it's
mhm,
like he has certain people, right? that they are conservative to the point
Mm-hmm.
of they want to. They say I'm pro police because of whatever the case may be, but then when it's
Mm-hmm.
like a person who actually is trying to advocate for something for justice of and rights for other people, oh, you're the enemy. So okay, so you're the enemy, but yet you wanna you're fine with cops beating down your kinfolk or people from your people group because you think that cops are all right. But yeah, but yeah, it's funny that in this country that most of the cops that do kill innocent civilians, they're not always prosecuted. And the ones that are sent to jail, and depending on how they killed the innocent person, they in this country you will never see a former cop who's in jail serving a lengthy sentence get the death penalty. And everything is supposed to be fair in the United States, right?
Well, like I said, well, the reason why people are pro cop because like I lived in a middle class area when I was growing up. We had family members. When I became Catholic, one of my the catechism teacher, her son was my aunt and my dad and uncle friend. He was a cop in our area. They grew up together. You know what I'm saying? And they went to the color school before he got integrated. If you look at him, he's deceased now. You would thought that he was a Latino or but he's very racial and big as Creole brother. He was one of the cops, called black cops. He's mixed, in our area. And at the time, it was mostly white with a few Latinos and African Americans. They was even on the news one period of time years ago after I had left the area for being racist towards Africans and Hispanic. You had folks who are Africans and participating in this mess with these white cops within. So, so when I was growing up, and it was mostly white at the time, wasn't most Latino like to 1990. We had cops visit school, teach us about just say no. It's like in the Reagan and Bush days,
Oh
and
yeah, I
we,
remember. I remember those days. And then you
yeah,
had McGruff the crime dog.
right. And they was cool. I mean, I wouldn't be shocked the white ones that was talking to us was racist, but they were cool to us. You know what I'm saying? To a point you saw trust. You know what I'm saying? And if we heard anything negative about the police department going against, you thought that the person was a criminal acting a fool. Like I didn't like cop killing until I heard cop killer. You know what I'm saying? I ain't not like when they advertised Ice T's cop killer. I said, how dare he made a song called Killing Cops. But when I listened to the lyrics, it was about his friend getting killed by corrupt LAPD cops. You know what I'm saying? They didn't tell you that in the media. You know what I'm saying? So that's what comes in. And I started seeing when we started having mostly Latinos, when the white people started leaving. This back in 93, 92. I started seeing these white cops, they changed their behavior. I think one time we had a brother that was a cop, and we had a Latino dark or Mexican dude by our complexion, who was Mexican American. He had nasty attitude sometimes too, but with the white ones, the cocky attitude came out. And I remember I said, "Oh, that's what they're talking about. They're not talking about no just cops and Rodney King and stuff." What happened when Rodney King did change my mind idea about cops. It was shocking to see what happened to Rodney King, them beating them up. But when I saw in middle school, and I remember in one particular time, I didn't do anything wrong with our teacher, sister, bright skinned sister. She was in school with my dad and them. But kicked me out the classroom because me and this Mexican dude who's picking on me instead of her getting on him. So we out, and the big old white guy. I remember my grandfather said that dude is a racist doing traffic one time. I said, Grandpa, I said, Papa, that name ain't racist. And he was. And I was trying to explain what was happening when he asked why we was outside the classroom. He was school patrol. We had cops that was school control. That's how, yeah. That's early 90s, okay? And we had police as officers. Like, you gonna get arrested right there if you get into a fight. And I like, I ain't trying to get no fight. Okay, so yeah, that was at the time. And I'm trying to explain to the white man, the Mexican American dude, he ain't trying to, because he know he was in the wrong. I'm trying to prove to him I ain't even, he said, I don't want to hear it. I said, damn. I'm trying to explain to him that why we out the doggone classroom. I don't know why I miss so and so. I want to say her name. And my dad know who this woman is. She gonna kick butt for us instead of saying examine who was in the wrong. You know what I'm saying? So and I probably hard didn't trust her. This was my math teacher back in the 8th grade. And I'm like, sister, girl, please. You know, I don't know, bad student. Dave was a bad. He became a little gangster cholo thug too. The Mexican American dude. He became a thug, gangster cholo thug. He showed did. He would have acted a fool in the classroom instead of getting on him. So when I saw that behavior, I said,
Yeah,
oh, because
one
it.
thing to say, salute to
Hmm?
Morena Reyes, or salute to Morena
What
Reyes
happened?
on the check-in. Salute to Morena Reyes.
Huh?
Regis. Yeah, salute to the sister Morena Regis for checking in. I mean, you could continue.
Born and raised who? To my
Oh,
audio acting
Morena
fool.
Reyes. Oh, okay.
Born and raised. You talking about the song Born and Raised in Compton?
Oh, no, no, no. I'm saying Morena Reyes. She just checked in, so I'm saying, so I was saluting her.
All right, I'm back. Okay. Let's see. I dropped the link. Anybody's welcome to come through.
I don't know what is up with StreamYard. Yeah, because I'm using my hotspot on the StreamYard and I'm on the laptop. But on the phone, it's acting the fool, and then on the laptop, acting the fool. So I don't know what's going on. But StreamYard is I think that, in my opinion, ever since the whole Bluish Lotto thing last year, they probably watch my behavior or something, and they probably say they me make it hard for Zach. Yes, I do apologize. I keep coming out. That's the Wi-Fi, whatever. And I got 10G hotspot, so it shouldn't be a problem.
All right. So what is TNG? Because I the last hotspot I used was like in 2014 or whatever the case may be. I mean, now I use Verizon, but it was like a private hotspot that I went and I used or whatever. But then they
Mm-hmm.
got bought out by Sprint or something.
It's Joe Biden. Bomber phone Joe Biden. That's what I'm using.
Right.
Because I'm having issues with my Wi-Fi and stuff. I don't want to discuss my own personal Wi-Fi at home, so I won't discuss the issue here. But I have to use the government Wi-Fi for this. Since I have issue with my own Wi-Fi with a legit company. So and so since I'm unfortunately on government since I'm in school for business leadership. I gotta do a paper on later on tonight. My classes. Actually, I'm in my second, third week. Anyway, yeah, they gave us a 10G because when I was with the company Verizon, it was
All right. Okay. I think you cut off. I don't know what's happening. Okay.
Tonight we're blessed with the presence of Jose Negron, or who I refer as Don Jose. How are you doing tonight? Hello, Don Jose. How you doing?
All right, good
I had,
evening. How you doing? How you doing
I'm
tonight?
all right. I'm all right. I'm just thinking that okay, there's a topic that people need to know about, and it just brought my attention about sex tourism in the Caribbean.
Okay. Well, I just had a stream regarding who's more faithful, men and women. So I guess it seems to be sexual oriented topic tonight.
I mean, it's not really so. I guess it is, but then it's not like. But the thing is, though, it's just about because it piqued my curiosity because I was on Radical's page, and that came up during, I guess, his stream. So I just thought it was an interesting topic since it actually goes on in the Caribbean. I'm
Yes.
not saying that it doesn't go on in Asia or Africa as well, but it's an interesting topic.
Yeah. Well, you know what's the problem is that whenever you have people who have extreme limited resources,
Right.
okay, they become possible targets of sexual exploitation.
All right.
I mean, we all look. We all know. Okay, we all know that not every country in the Caribbean is rich and prosperous.
Right.
Some of it could be because of conditions beyond their control. Others it could be mismanagement. Okay,
Right.
so what happens is when you have people who want to get busy and they want to smash. I mean, they're gonna find people that it's gonna be very easy for them to smash with,
Right.
and sometimes it can involve young girls or young boys.
Yes. I mean, I've actually saw a documentary in my parents' home country of the Dominican Republic,
Yes.
and there was a man who actually was talking about, I guess, his dalliances on how he actually on how he actually I guess had his was he says that he's a straight man, but his main thing in life was to that his profession was actually satisfying European men.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know about that, but me personally, I just thought it was an interesting topic because I've seen several documentaries on YouTube about that,
Yes.
and since I guess we live like in a sexually charged um society
Mm-hmm.
where certain people can or cannot live without sex. You have certain people that I guess they do or not. So my thing is that I'm trying to see like okay, I'm trying to get like to the bottom of it and maybe I might have a stream like this again in the future.
Mhm.
But I want to know, like from people from different countries, why or the beginning of why of how tourism started in their respective countries.
Well, I'm sure if you get 10 people together, you're going to get 10 different reasons and 10 different interpretations. But
Yeah, I mean that's what I actually want because different interpretations, could actually seem like okay, what is the cultural norms? Why this is happening, or the economical norms, and how like traditional society from modern society in this day and age look at sex tourism.
Mhm.
Like, do they look at it as a joke? Do they look at it as a rising fad? Or I guess from the law aspect of it, maybe that they think that it's a public nuisance.
Well, I think it has to do with, again, it has to do with, for example, uh, who are the players, so to speak, is regarding they, being sexual playmates, so to speak. It's one thing if you
Right.
have two adults who mutually consent to engage in adult activity. It's another
Right.
thing when you have a person where a person is obligated to engage because of economic situation, or even worse, if the person is underage.
Right.
So, and unfortunately, there is prostitution in many countries. And, people tend to focus on the Dominican Republic because it's not a first world country. However, prostitution exists in many areas in the world, not just in Latin America, but also in Asia and Africa as well. And I think one common denominator is that people are compelled to sell their bodies out of economic need. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, it is just it's to me, I don't know. Because there's a star that actually came from the Dominican Republic
Mhm.
and and she goes by the name of Tokisha.
Okay.
I mean, most of her songs is actually sexually charged. So I guess
Mhm.
certain people do love that about her. But
Okay.
but I guess she has really rose into prominence this year because she has a big cosign
Mhm.
by the way of Madonna.
Yeah.
So I guess Madonna liked one of her posts, and I guess
Okay.
that had the ball rolling as far as her popularity. I could say,
Okay.
and I guess since her popularity is increasing because she did a song with Madonna, and she recently actually made a video in Washington Heights.
Hmm.
Her her thing is I guess her popularity is, or buzz, if I might just add, is actually rising at the
Hmm.
moment that we speak,
Okay.
because she's been on it for a few years, but just I guess that Madonna co-sign and that concert and the video in Washington Heights has propelled her to, I guess in, I guess already international, because she actually went to Europe, but and she actually did a whole tour in the United States. But I guess she's more of, I guess, the international level, as that she could actually be interviewed by American media,
Hmm.
because not only is she's a star in the Dominican Republic, she could actually defend herself in English too, which some or a lot of artists can do. But then it's like certain people don't use their both language skills to get ahead. And she's actually breaking a lot of barriers for the Dominican urban movement.
Hmm. Okay. You know what? I think part of the problem is that tonight we have like multiple people doing streams.
I mean,
You
yeah,
had,
because it was just like, I mean, my streams, I guess I'm still, I guess, in the baby stages or whatever the case may be. So I'm just I'm just actually trying to put content that people could actually talk about in like in a good way, because at the end of the day we have like socio-economic issues that actually goes around.
yeah.
And I guess in the United States they're talking about politics or whatever the case may be, which to
Hmm.
me is I would get into it, but then again, why? Because at the end of the day,
Yeah.
they do not have any sense. Some I guess you will call they're great, and then some of them they're not. But then again, you don't really know where they actually stand in certain issues.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
the fact of the matter is, each one of us has our own individual niches. Okay.
Right.
Radical niche is basically black and brown unity and fighting white supremacy. The
Right.
18th leather has its own niche.
Hmm.
The intro de Boricua has its own niche. Denise
Yeah.
has her niche, which is really has to do more with
Right.
politics and other issues. You have your niche, I have my niche,
Right.
which is we're trying to deal with everyday issues because that's something that no that very few people talk about. And then you have other people like
Yeah.
Fighter has his niche, Morena has her niche, and you have people from the Golden Spear, which have their own individual niches.
I mean, yeah, because even though that talking about the golden niches and everything like that, I mean, the golden sphere, I'm still new to, and I didn't know what was the big rift because I didn't actually see the I guess the argument or the big rift. But I know that I'll be on Discord, and there's a lot of people that I guess from the golden sphere that they talk about different topics or whatever the case may be. So I still see like certain aspects of the golden sphere, but then most of the time I'm just really busy on trying to create or my own stream or to try to talk to certain artists that I am cool with to actually make another stream about the history of the Dominican urban movement in New York.
When it comes to the golden sphere and other people who are biracial, multiracial issue, some of the issues, like for example, Angry has issues with high Wanger, regarding accusations going back and forth, and of course, there he have had issues with both the Gigi and Multi, and there have been accusations, you know, going back and forth, um, and then all of a sudden, Hybrid decides to put my name into the mix,
Okay.
which is like, and I had to address it. It's like, first of all, uh, instead of trying to drag me into your stupidity, deal with trying to restart your channel, because his channel was actually deleted from YouTube. Okay.
All right.
So he's talking about that my platform is meaningless and insignificant. Well, at least my channel has never been deleted, and I now have one copyright strike.
Yeah, I got like maybe several, so I think on that. So therefore, that's why I try to make my if I do have like a intro or anything like that, I'll pay my cousin who's a producer to actually put that on. And I guess I go through the copyright or whatever the case may be. So therefore you could get the rights and I could get the rights. So, I know it's gonna be a process, but I'm gonna do it.
Yeah.
But this is my thing too. It's like right now I see everybody, I guess, within the Dominican urban movement doing the same thing. They either hanging in the street or
Yeah.
whatever the case may be. I mean, hopefully when I get my business up and running, and if I want to conduct interviews, I want to try to at least create a safe haven for a lot of artists within the Dominican movement or within the Spanish hip hop movement to make them have a space that is free, they can lounge around and everything like that, and tell people what they need to know, the pitfalls of the urban movement, what a person needs to just to stay hot, because it's not like, okay, a person could say, oh yeah, I'm hot and everything like that, because there's a lot of artists that they still have like a lot of day jobs or whatever the case may be, or or if they're from the street, they're still trying to fight cases that could actually ruin their career.
Mhm.
So and then since I have been following the movement ever since like 2008. I mean, the one in New York and the one in DR. I see that there's a lot of backbiting from the from I guess from the days that I started, but now it's more is more useless talent than there is talent. That's my thing.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Lately, my streams have gotten less and less views. I think part of it has to do with the timing. I think part of it might be the content. Because I do try to bring contents that will that will,
Positivity.
yeah, and just unfortunately, I have not been getting the views that I was getting before. Um,
Right.
it just happened to be a dry spell for now.
Yeah.
But the way I see it, I think there's as many as 5 different YouTube creators are having streams on the same night. You, me, Fighter, Magic, and Not So. So when you have a lot of people
Right.
airing around the same time, that's going to affect the views.
Right.
So, oh, good evening, Magic. I think you having a stream at 10 o'clock. If I'm not mistaken. Um, but yeah, but look, the fact that Hybrid is trying to pick a fight with me. Well, he would be. You know what? He'll be a better
I
advisor.
mean,
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I've heard the name hybrid been thrown around. I guess for some time, and I still don't know who he is. But
Okay.
one thing that I have seen, one thing that I
Mhm.
have seen like lately, like on my stream or whatever, uh, I have seen that there's a that everybody's coming for this one guy.
Yeah.
I guess it's the guy that, and you know which guy that I'm talking about. Um, the one that's named Kim or whatever the case may be.
Ken 1 2 3.
Yeah, that dude.
Oh, you know what? He's a unique character all by himself. He's a special case. Look, his streams are all the same thing. Okay, they're talking about the BBC and how black men are going over to Latin America to get with some sexy ass Latinas, as he likes to put it.
Okay, so this is one thing that to me is I guess asinine, right? And this
Yeah,
is me. If you're a man or whatever the case may be, because allegedly, I talked that certain people exposed that guy is, but his thing is that if you making the whole thing just on the concept of the BBC, I mean, I've heard I've heard a lot of stuff about that guy saying that this is the grossest guy on YouTube. And I've seen several people actually, I guess, curse this guy out, while Chem123 actually uses a guy uses an old Italian logo as his interface or whatever the case may be. Yeah.
You mean like his avatar?
Yeah. Let me see. I'll have to mute myself for a minute because there's music playing.
Okay. While DonArmando is muted, I just want to ask that if you have not done so, please consider subscribing to DonArmando's channel. I'm gonna ask that you subscribe, hit the like button as you enter, and set the bell notifications to all. So whenever DonArmando does prepare any content, you will have the opportunity to either to catch it live or catch it on the playback. So
Yeah. Yeah. It's like I've seen so many funny videos today. I had to share some on my own Facebook of a man singing and then he knocked out. I guess because he was gasping for air after he hit the high note.
mm-hmm.
And then
Okay.
and then there was a guy dressed in a Freddy Krueger outfit remixing the Wu-Tang Cream, everything around me. Cream, get the money, $1 bill, y'all. Well, Method Man's song, and I was like, yo, it was funny.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. I hear. I'm just taking a look at the comments. I see you have people stop by. You have introvert Boricua, you have cultural politics. He appears on my platform. Also radical. Um, I think, and I know he's doing. I
Yeah.
believe he's doing the stream tomorrow. The problem is he does his
Yeah.
streams during the day when I'm working, so it gets a little hard to join sometimes. But everyone has to do their streams whenever they can.
I was on this bit, but then I was in his stream a little bit, but then actually on my because I work, so it's actually feasible for me to do this like around this time.
Yeah.
But other than that, I mean, I try to see what's going on in the world to no avail, whether it's stupidity or positivity.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm seeing like a trend now that there's this abusive couple rapper, if I should even call this man a rapper, and his now girlfriend. And to me, I think this is the worst toxic relationship ever.
Mm-hmm.
Now, for me and you, and I know you're from the you're older than me. I just want to get this concept out.
Mm-hmm.
Where in the world have you seen a man knock out his girlfriend's father and a girlfriend knock out this guy's mother and sister?
Okay. First of all, I think these two people should be in a straitjacket. They should be under observation for 72 hours.
Right,
Okay. If not
right,
in jail and not in jail for assault.
right,
I mean, look, there are too many people out there with some gray matter to be involved in that toxic relationship like that.
right.
I mean, I remember when I was married, my ex-wife actually had the nerve to ask my mother if I had someone on the side, and it's like, so after I found out, we had a heated argument because first of all, if you're suspecting that I'm cheating, then you speak with me. You don't bring my mother into your stupidity, okay?
Yeah, and it's like I I had I had I had like a whole case because of that. But the thing
Mhm,
is though, it's like with me and my ex, we had like an argument. Then they want to bring my parents into it, my mom into it, which is
mhm.
very disrespectful because I never brought her parents into it. But yet she thought that, oh, that when you call family, they thought that they were gonna go around and make me. It was like, oh, you respect them and all this stuff, and she thought that everything was gonna be nice. Um, she thought wrong.
Yeah.
So I'm not gonna go around and say I was the best son to my mother,
Okay.
but I could say that that I loved my moms.
Hmm.
So a lot of the drama and crap that I've been through in my life was, I guess, because of my hot headedness or whatever the case may be.
Hmm.
It is now that on one of my streams, that same ex was actually calling me by my government name. So now that I'm a married man and everything, I don't.
Hmm.
If you're gonna call me by my government name, just refer to me as DonArmando. Because if you refer to me by my government name, I will block you. It's nothing personal, but at the same time, but you're by doing that will try to hurt my brand because there's a lot of people who are in this day and age are still mad at me because of personal reasons or well maybe financial reasons, but then it's mostly because I never made any money with these guys. But then you have certain people that still harbor a hatred just because of people I defend, etc.
Hmm.
So it's to the point that now, since I'm living in Philadelphia, and I just really keep to myself, I'm just gonna try to learn how to drive a car because it's getting too crazy out here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you see, in my case, my actual legal name is attached to my platform. So
Yeah, I
being that
know.
that's the case, so therefore there's certain things I would not do because I don't want to tarnish my name. First of all, because everyone. I mean, it's my name behind it. Number one. Number two, I'm a government employee, so therefore I have to be ever so mindful what I can say and what not say. So there's certain things I would not engage. There's certain things I would not do. Okay. And the fact of the matter is, unfortunately, I have haters. I have haters because of people that don't like my content. I have haters because people don't like the people that I associate with. And I've said this before, and I'm going to keep saying it. If you're cool with me, I'm cool with you. and sometimes it can get a little messy, particularly when you are cool with people who are having beefs with each other.
Yeah.
So the best thing to do is you stay neutral. And when it
Yeah,
comes to any,
I mean, yeah, that's why I try to actually make a neutral platform, because at the end of the day, it's just too much going on.
yeah,
And then when you're trying to stay neutral, you're gonna have one hater or whatever the case may be, who really cares. But my thing is that if if a person is really trying to progress in life, but then you have certain people that will try to use different avenues to try to you know s- bring you down or whatever.
hmm
I mean, at the end of the day, I don't really have time for that. So
well, this Friday it will be my birthday. I will become 60. So I made it a point that going forward, I'm not going to be tolerating any drama, any stupidity, or any what have you. I mean, if you cannot deal with me as an adult, I don't have to deal with you at all.
I respect that.
And what some of these idiots they don't understand, I'm old enough to be their father.
Or grandfather.
Exactly.
Respect.
Yeah. Now, if you want to take pot shots at my platform, talk about that my platform is insignificant, my platform is it's boring. That is your choice. My question is, have you actually listened to my content? Okay, because it's very easy to make comments over something that you don't know anything about.
Right.
And I do talk about things that no one else wants to talk about.
I mean, same here, because it's like we, I don't I don't know what to call this world, because you do if you do, you dang if you don't.
Mhm.
But then we live in a world where a man could actually hate you for an opinion, or for saying no. And 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 certain people, they just want you to conform to their belief, what or whatever it is, social or economical, whatever the case may be.
Mhm.
But when you say something different, they was like, "Oh, you're the enemy." I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
yeah,
I mean, when everything is said and done, I'm trying to create a positive environment for people to speak on my platform. Okay, and I have to block quite a few people because they did not respect the platform and they did not respect the rules. And I just have basically two. Don't overtalk anyone on the panel and don't disrespect anyone on the panel. You do that, you're going to be blocked. It is that simple.
yeah. That's
Yeah,
it.
and what's been disappointing is that people who used to appear on my platform, they don't appear there anymore. I mean, that's their choice.
Yep.
And have I made mistakes? Yeah, I made a lot of mistakes along the way, but I own up to them.
Right.
So Look, when everything is said and done, this is this is YouTube. This is not something to call, to lose sleep over. Okay. And people having beefs
Yeah.
on YouTube because of the most silliest things. It's really pathetic when you think about
I mean, the only beef I could say that I have on YouTube is, well, you know, with this dude, with the guy Queen. And to me, it's a valid problem because a person should not go and not a person should not try to bring a person's into an argument, which is a person who's
it. Mhm.
actually was trying to gaslight me on what my identity was. So when I said what I was, the guy went up and tried to gaslight on what my mother was and everything, and it turned into a big argument because at the end of the day, this guy has no respect. And then on top of it, which is funny, is that he's a hypocrite too, because you want to call men degenerates for going to the nation where my parents come from to get women or whatever the case may be. But your whole reputation is whenever you can't really win an argument, you actually, when it's a man and you know that he has a spouse and somebody that loves him, you actually want to
Mhm.
go around and say that you want to bang their wives. I don't see I don't see how a person could call himself an alpha male and be unemotionally intelligent at the same time.
Yeah. Well, I have never dealt with. I think maybe once with the individual that you're referring to. I think it was on Fighters channel. I mean, I have never been on his platform. Uh,
I don't care to.
I mean, I have no beats with the guy. I mean, it's just that I have no. I mean, look, when everything is said and done, there's too many. Look, I'm already active with enough YouTube creators as is, and my time is limited.
Right,
Okay,
right.
so so at times, okay, at times it's a struggle to catch a stream on the or catch a stream on the playback because unfortunately at times you have people when you have three or four creators doing the same doing a stream at the same night.
Exactly.
So it could be a struggle trying to find a time where when you have the least amount of competition. And unfortunately, our platform is not all that big.
Um,
Yours is slightly bigger than mine. I have only 154 subs. So it's a
yeah,
bit of a struggle trying to find a time where it will generate an audience.
yeah. I know. It's like I've been watching this guy who calls himself Coffee House Stories or whatever, and I just see like how he presents himself and everything like that. A nice British guy, and he
Mhm.
talks about cold cases and unsolved cases, whatever the case may be. I mean, he says like a little crass joke or whatever, but you could actually see that the way that he speaks and the way that he brings the stories and stuff, you actually feel like you're at home and you just want to sit back and drink a coffee.
Okay.
So I actually look at other people's styles on how they present themselves. So therefore, maybe I could learn and maybe incorporate it into my channel as well.
Well, I've said this before, and I said it again. I actually used Denise's template the way that she does her platform. So I followed that template. Of course, I add my own personal touches and whatnot. So it's not like I'm doing an exact duplicate of her platform. It's just that the way she conducts her streams, it's done very professionally and done well. So I try to follow that example.
Right.
But the fact of the matter is, it's not a sprint; it's a marathon. Okay,
Right.
and as long as you are treated as a marathon, you'll do well. I have to admit, at times I wonder if there's an audience for my type of platform.
I mean,
Um,
this is what I think, and I think that I guess we have to like I guess network. I mean, we already networking as far as with other YouTube creators, but I'm saying like personally network is since you're in New York and you're in Portchester, right? I
yeah,
know that there's a lot of educated individuals that hang in the Starbucks right next to the Macy's. I know this for a fact.
yeah.
So if I was you, I mean, if you have a day off, or I don't know how you work, if you actually work in the office or you actually work at home, but whenever
Well,
you have that time,
yeah,
yeah.
actually, I work in the office. Basically, the weekends of my time that I have time that I've been off. Now, for the last 2 weeks, I've been working all 7 days because of the situation with the migrants coming to New York. So,
Okay. You said migrants coming to New York?
I mean,
Okay.
yeah. So basically, what they needed was city personnel to help deal with these people. So that's what I've been doing for the last 2 weeks. Now I'm gonna take some time off, because basically I cannot function. I cannot work 7 days out of the week without any rest. Not for I mean, particularly at my age. I am definitely going to try to spend some time at a Starbucks. Um, See if I can network and
Right.
maybe by next year I can have at least 500 subs or at least 1,000 subs and whatnot. I mean, anything's possible.
I mean, I believe so too. So my thing is that hopefully, since I'll try to be a well-rounded channel, um, I'll just see what I could do. I mean, whenever I go to New York and I guess meet other content creators or whatever the case may be, and exchange ideas.
Yeah,
So
I agree. Well, it's of course it's been a pleasure. Actually, Magic Malata is having a stream in a couple of minutes, so I'm gonna pop in her stream because that's the thing. I follow I sub have like about 15 or 16 different YouTube creators that I try to support. So sometimes it
yeah,
could be a
same here.
all right. So, well, first of all, thank you for allowing me on your platform. I'm sorry that other people not seeing fit to join, but there'll be days when you have only one person on the panel, and sometimes you'll be the only one on the panel. But in any case, thank you very much for allowing me on your platform, and I hope to be back soon.
Yes, Don Jose.
All right, take care.
And
Have a good
you're
night.
always welcome here.
Okay, thank you very much.
Anytime.
Okay, good night, and good night to everybody on the chat. Take care.
You too. Well, that's all, folks. I would like to congratulate Zacharias and anybody that tuned in this program. So hopefully, whenever I have a next stream, whichever topic it may be, stay tuned. Have a blessed night.